There is a number that most people never calculate. Not their salary. Not their savings account balance. Their net worth. What they actually own. Minus what they actually owe. Most people avoid this number for their entire working lives. Because when they finally run it, the decade of salaries, the decade of raises, the decade of feeling like progress was happening produces almost nothing permanent. This video is about why. It is about how the wheel works, who built it, and where the exit actually is. It starts before you are old enough to question it. You are 6 years old and the system is already running, not because anyone planned to trap you, because they were trapped in it too. And they could only hand you what they knew. Study hard, get good grades, go to a good college, get a good job, work hard, retire. 6 steps. 40 years. The entire architecture of your financial life summarized in a hallway poster that nobody questioned. The map was not wrong. It was just incomplete. You graduated. You celebrated. You took the first job offer that came. Not because it was the best option. Because it was the first. And the map said get a job, it did not say which kind or why. The first paycheck arrived. And for one moment, maybe 1 week, it felt like enough. Then the second month arrived. And the wants arrived with it. And this specific moment is where the wheel starts turning. The upgrade trap is not a conspiracy. It is just human nature meeting a system designed to profit from it. Year 1. You are earning $35,000. You are spending $32,000. You are saving $3,000. Year 2. You get a raise. $5,000 more per year. And within 60 days, your expenses have risen to match it. A better apartment. Because you deserved it after working that hard. A better car. Because the old one was embarrassing at this stage of your career. Better restaurants. Better clothes. A vacation you had been putting off. Each upgrade felt like a reward. Each one was also a new floor you could not go below. This is called lifestyle inflation. And it is the single most effective mechanism for keeping the wheel spinning. Because the wheel does not need to force you to run. It just needs to make the running feel like progress. Year 3. Another raise. Another upgrade. Year 4. Another raise. Another upgrade. The raises are real. The upgrades are real. The savings gap at the end of every year, also real. And stubbornly unchanged. Then comes the moment that changes the nature of the trap completely. The house. Everybody told you to buy a house. Your parents. Your colleagues. The internet. Financial advisors on television. Buy a house. Build equity. Stop throwing money away on rent. They were not wrong. A home can be a valuable asset. What nobody explained was how a 30-year mortgage actually works. You borrow $300,000 to buy a house. Your monthly payment is $1,800. Manageable. Reasonable. Over 30 years, you will pay the bank $540,000 in total payments. For a house that cost $300,000. The bank makes $348,000 from your decision to buy a home. And in the first 10 years of your mortgage, more than 70% of every payment you make goes to interest. Not to owning more of the house. Now add the car payment. The car loses value the moment you drive it off the lot. You are paying interest on an asset that is shrinking. Now add the credit card. 24% annual interest. On things you bought last year that you are still paying for this year. You now have a mortgage, a car payment, a credit card balance, and a monthly budget that has no room left. And here is where the trap changes character entirely. You no longer work because you want to. You work because the mortgage requires it. The car payment requires it. The minimum credit card payment requires it. The job is no longer a choice. It is a payment plan. Your boss did not trap you. The bank did not trap you. You built the trap one reasonable decision at a time. And the trap feels exactly like a life. Because it is a life. Just one that someone else designed the constraints for. 10 years pass. You are good at your job. You have been promoted twice. You earn significantly more than you did at the start. And your net worth is approximately $14,000. 10 years of salaries. 2 promotions. $14,000 of permanent wealth created. This is not failure. This is the designed outcome of the system. The system needs you earning. It needs you spending. It needs you borrowing. It does not need you wealthy. Your salary has a maximum. It is called the top of your pay grade. When you reach the top of your pay grade, the raise conversations change character. Excellent performance. No ceiling movement. The performance and the reward decoupled. Meanwhile, the mortgage payment never hit a ceiling. The cost of living never hit a ceiling. The wheel is spinning faster now. But the destination has not changed. Then something happens. It is not dramatic. It never is. Maybe it is a conversation with someone who is younger than you and already financially free. Maybe it is just the notebook, the calculation, the number at the bottom of the page. Whatever it is, something cracks. And once it cracks, you cannot unsee what is on the other side. The red pill moment. Not a movie moment. Just a Tuesday afternoon when the map stops matching the terrain. Here is what the red pill actually shows you. Not that the system is evil. That it is indifferent. The system does not care whether you escape it or spend your entire life inside it. It does not reward loyalty. It does not track whether you deserved better. It just runs. And if you run inside it without understanding it, it captures your entire working life. Can you exit the rat race? But not in the way the motivational posters suggest. You do not exit the rat race by quitting your job. You exit the rat race by changing what your income builds. The rat race is not the job. The rat race is the relationship between your income and your assets. You are in the rat race when your expenses require your income to continue. You are out of the rat race when your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses. That transition starts with one thing. Understanding that every dollar you earn has two possible futures. It can be consumed, or it can be deployed. The rat race is built on consumption. The exit is built on deployment. Step 1 toward the exit. Calculate your actual net worth today. Not what you earn, what you own. Step 2. Stop letting every raise disappear into lifestyle. The next time a raise arrives, before anything else, redirect a portion of it to an asset. Even 10% of every raise deployed to assets rather than lifestyle changes the trajectory completely over a decade. Step 3. Attack the debt in the right order. Credit card debt at 24% interest is destroying your ability to build wealth faster than almost anything else in your financial life. Every dollar of credit card debt eliminated is a guaranteed 24% return on that dollar. Step 4. Build the asset base. Slowly, consistently, automatically. Index funds. Real estate. A business on the side. Something that generates income without requiring your continuous presence. The goal is not to become a billionaire. The goal is to reach the point where your asset income covers your basic expenses. That threshold has a name. It is called financial independence. And financial independence is a mathematical outcome for anyone who consistently deploys a portion of their income into assets that compound over time. The rat race has one weakness. It requires your participation. The moment you stop consuming everything you earn, the moment you begin deploying a portion into assets, you have begun to exit. Not dramatically. Not immediately. But the direction has changed. And direction, held consistently over years, is everything. The rat race runs on passivity, on default settings, on the assumption that the map you were given is the only map that exists. The exit runs on active choice. Small choices, made consistently, over a long time. Not dramatic choices. Redirect $50 a month choices. Hold the investment one more year choices. Skip the upgrade this cycle choices. The rat race is loud. It is busy. It fills every available hour with urgency and obligation. The exit requires a moment of quiet that the rat race never voluntarily provides. That moment is this moment. You are already in it. The question is what you do next. The wheel is still there. It will always be there. The exit door has always been there too. Nobody warned you about the wheel. But you know about it now. What you do with that knowledge is the only question left.